Hey, hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video is going to be very interesting because from this video we are starting with a new module called as looping statements in C++. Now looping statements are very important. Looping statements are important not just in C++, you go to learn any new programming language, you go to learn Python, JavaScript, Java, any new programming language, looping statement is always going to be helpful. Now why looping statements are helpful? I'll just tell you one thing. See, whenever you go to write some logic driven program, whenever you go to write some logical sensible program, in those kind of programs you will always need looping statements because of the purpose the looping statement solves. Now let's understand what purpose looping statements solve. So looping statements are used for doing some repetitive tasks. Okay, now whenever you want to do any repetitive task, any redundant task, in such scenarios you can make use of the looping statement. I'll just give you one small example. Let's say you want to print hello world 10 times on the screen. Okay, this is a simple example. Let's say you want to print hello world 10 times on the screen. So one option that you have is write cout statement 10 times and write cout hello world 10 times. Okay, I'll say this is a very redundant task because you have to write cout 10 different times. Okay, 10 times is it's okay. Actually you can write 10 times hello world, cout hello world, it's not a big deal. But let's say if I want you to print hello world on the screen 1000 times, okay, 1000 times, then how you will do it? Okay, can you write cout hello world 1000 times? Few people can do it, but actually it's not a good thing, right? Or it's very dumb. Okay, so ideally in such scenarios we should use something called as looping statements. Okay, so in previous model we have seen something like conditional statement. So whenever we need to write some condition, we make use of conditional statement. Similarly in looping statements, whenever we have to write some redundant logic, whenever we need to write some repetitive code, in such scenarios we can make use of the looping statement. Now this module is very interesting. There is one more reason for that, and the reason is we are going to build one very interesting game by end of this module. And let me quickly show you the game that we are going to build by end of this module. So for that you can see my VS Code is already on. Okay, so I have created one small game which will be building by end of this module. Let's quickly run this game and I'll show you how this game is going to work. So before that, let me compile this game. I'll write g++ followed by name of the file, which is 01game.cpp. So I have compiled the game. Now I'll just run the game. Okay, now the game is something very simple. What the game is going to do is game is going to give us some turns to play, and game is also going to give machine like the laptop some turns to play. Okay, and then it will ask us some questions, and based on the answer that we are going to provide, it is going to decide whether the human is winning the game or the machine is winning the game. So let's see. The first question it is asking is enter how many number of turns you want to play. Let's say I want to play for 3 turns. Okay, so I am entering 3. Now it is asking us enter number in 1 to 10. Okay, so we have to enter a number in 1 to 10. So let's say I want to enter 5. So I'll enter 5 and then I'll hit enter. Then it is saying machine is entering 4. Okay, so I entered 5, machine is entering 4. If you take sum of these two numbers, 5 plus 4, it is 9. Okay, so the strategy over here is whenever the sum is going to be even, machine is going to win, and whenever the sum is going to be odd, human is going to win, or we are going to win. So in this case we entered 5, machine entered 4, so 5 plus 4 is 9, which is an odd number, so human is winning. Okay, now let's enter some another input. So it is again asking us to enter one number. Let's enter 2 this time. So this time machine is entering 7. Okay, again 7 plus 2 is 9, so again we are winning the game. Okay, so see, whoever is going to win maximum turns is going to win the game. So I think we have already won the game because out of 3 turns, 2 turns are won by us. Let's enter 1 this time. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we entered 1, machine is entering 8, and again we won. Okay, again we won this turn. So yeah, finally we win the game. And see, there's one coincidence actually. So if you observe answer, like if you take sum of all the inputs that we have given, it's coming to 9. This is a coincidence, this is a pure coincidence. There is no logic, such kind of logic written inside the code. I'll just show you one more time. Let's say we play for 2 turns. Let's say I enter 7, machine is entering 4. Okay, so it's not a hard-coded logic that I've written that the sum should always be 9. Somehow it is coming to 9. Okay, let's enter 4 this time. Machine is again entering 7. Again we are winning the game. I don't know, somehow the machine is not performing well this time. Okay, let's enter 2 turns. Let's enter 8. Okay, machine is entering 4 this time. Okay, so 8 plus 4 is 12. So machine is winning. Okay, let's enter 6. Okay, machine is entering 7. 6 plus 7 is 11. And then it's a tie. Okay, not sorry. 6 plus 7 is not 11, it is 13. My bad. Okay, so it's a tie basically because first round is won by machine and the second round is won by human. So it's a tie, that's why it is saying it's a tie. Okay, so this is a small game that we'll be building by end of this model. I hope you are very excited for building this game. Now let me tell you one thing before closing this video. See, there are 3 loops in C++ which we are going to learn in this module. So the first loop is called as for loop. Okay, for loop. The second loop that we have is while loop, and the third loop that we have is do while loop. So when I talk about looping statements, I'm talking about these 3 loops. Okay, for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Now depending on the condition or depending on what syntax you like, you can decide which loop you want to use. Okay, so in upcoming videos we are going to learn about all these 3 loops. We are also going to learn about their syntax and how to use them. So see you in the next videos.